No.
Good afternoon, welcome to Thurrock Oakfield, where today second place Shelford are playing Thurrock, who are currently placed 11th. Okay.
Good job, Bent's up in there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's talking, but it's like really muffled. It sounds like it's underwater.
Okay.
Yeah, what for?
Thank you, sir.
Oh no, hang on. No, you should be able to hear anything on this.
He's technically seven minutes.
Right. So, I don't want to start filming yet. I can zoom right back.
There you go. And then we'll go mute again.
Good afternoon to our many viewers around the world, and it's good afternoon from Thurrock Oakfield, where today Thurrock entertained second place Shelford. In the first game of the season away to Shelford, it was a close encounter, Shelford running out winners eventually. Shelford and Thurrock have a very long history, going back to the 1974 Eastern Counties Cup final. It was an extraordinary affair on that day when John White, the Thurrock prop, was sent off very early on in the game. In those days there were no substitutions, and subsequently Thurrock played with 14 men for the whole game. Nevertheless, they played a brilliant game of rugby and ran out convincing winners. In those days, Shelford used to capture quite a few Cambridge University players after the varsity match. On this occasion, Richard Harding, the scrum half, was being looked at very closely by England. Indeed, just a year later he moved to Bristol and he won 5 caps for England and became the England captain. On that particular occasion though, Thurrock were by far the better team, and the Thurrock scrum half certainly outplayed Richard Harding on that day. So, Shelford just have one change from the published programme, and that is at half, where regular Tom James has been injured, and James Gould has moved from the bench to 10. At 15 is Jack Brosnan, James Mepham, the flying winger, at 14, Jack Baird and Lewis Cracknell, the kicker, at centre. Louis Tang is the left winger, Charlie Baker, the captain, at scrum half. James Gould's already mentioned at 10. Matt Gregerson, Miles Hopats and Dan Barber in the front row. Dave Hill and Charlie Fitch form the second row. Jasper Dix, Harry Rogerson and Peter Clark. At the back row, Clark at number 8. Nathan Taylor's replacement front row with Will Garner, and Jason is at number 18. Thurrock make changes again this week, and Alex Jones has had to move to fly half. Jake Bedding was due to make his comeback today. Unfortunately, he pulled a groin during the warm-up, so Ed Stevens moves from the bench to scrum half. Callum Pluck and Harry Reynolds are the wingers. Henry Bird and Kai Holloway in the centre. In the front row, Thurrock have Tom Wildman at loose head prop. They have the irrepressible Jack Cowman at hooker, and Frank Wright is tight head. In the second row, we have Dritan Loka paired with Jay Jennings, moving Caelan Watts back to number 6. Ben Timpson plays number 8, and Charlie Russo, the captain, is open side. Ahmed Aminu is on the right wing. Sorry, Callum Pluck has moved to the bench. Ahmed Aminu is on the right wing. Callum Pluck is now on the bench alongside the returning Ryan Wilkins. It's good to see him back. And Alex Jones has kicked off. So Alex Jones making the first tackle, a nice low tackle. It's come to James Gould, who has kicked downfield, and to find Niall Clifford, who is going to run straight back at them. Runs straight into the defence, but wins the ball. Ed Stevens, Tom Wildman, it's a good first carry from him, resting with the opposition. Caelan Watts-Adams, good short pass to captain Charlie Russo. Kai Holloway is met with a firm tackle from Jack Baird. Was flipped on to Frank Wright, who makes good progress up the 10-metre line. Dritan Loka looking for work early on. Positive start by Thurrock. Jack Cowman looking for work. Ben Timps on the blind side, a little bit isolated. Caelan Watts-Adams is first there at the breakdown. Good continuity, a missed pass. Outstanding tackle. Henry Bird comes back infield, breaks the first tackle. Jones decides to go for the kick. That's an excellent kick, rolling the ball to touch. Not quite a 50-22, he's outside his own halfway line. That's a promising start from Thurrock, who retained possession, brought some continuity to the game, and now kick for position.
It's when we keep you going.
Jake Bedding pulled his groin in the warm-up, unfortunately. Due to make his comeback today, which was very exciting, but fate intervened. Jack Driscoll in the commentary box today with us, along with Dave Sarder on the camera. It's a good line, a good defensive line from Shelford. Comes to the middle of the field where Lewis Cracknell carries the ball. Charlie Baker, the captain, feeding the forwards. Gould with his left foot. Going for a long touch, as well taken by the debutant Harry Reynolds. Feeds now Clifford. Harry Reynolds getting his first run. Making good progress down the left wing. Well picked up, Alex Jones playing 10. Now Clifford's in the line, Henry Bird feeds Kai Holloway. Kai Holloway can't hold on to that one. Shelford take advantage. Ahmed Aminu. It looks like a high tackle. Thurrock are penalised. Another enterprising move from Thurrock. And now Clifford come into the middle of the field, able to make the extra man, but in the cold conditions, Kai Holloway couldn't quite handle the pass. There's a missed touch there. That's Lewis Cracknell. Thurrock having a chance to move Henry Bird, gives it to Harry Reynolds on the outside. And Reynolds has made good progress up the left wing. It's two excellent runs from him, a very good start. Jack Cowman bursting onto the ball, the hooker. Tom Wildman. Certainly Thurrock appeared to have this appetite early on. Charlie Russo. Charlie Russo. Ed Stevens, who's come in off the bench. Shelford burst into the tackle there, but Thurrock did manage to retain possession. Kai Holloway, excellent support from Aminu, and Jay Jennings on the charge. And it looked very much there as if the Shelford player put his hands on the ground first then, before attempting to win the ball. But Shelford are adjudged to have been offside, and Thurrock get the penalty. It's a good opportunity for Thurrock there to take the advantage. So it's Alex Jones to kick for the corner, waiting for the ball to be retrieved from the second team pitch. Good to see the second and third teams playing today on the adjacent pitches, and Thurrock have managed to introduce some former players from places like Palmerians, Pegasus, a good relationship with that club, and Jake Barrand and Finley Wood playing out there. So Jack Cowman, attacking lineup, but that's gone a little astray, a bit skewiff. That's given Gould a chance to and that's Caelan Watts-Adams on the charge down, scoring a try. But he's making a habit of that. He's done that in the last 3 games. Performing very much like the role of Graham Price. And Gethin Jenkins, the great Welsh props who charged down and scored classic tries in the Six Nations and Five Nations it was at the time for Graham Price. And Caelan did exactly the same thing last week at Amersham, and the week before that in the loss against Sudbury managed to charge a kick down and score an excellent try. So it's a great start for Thurrock. There's Henry Bird with the kicking duties this week. Tom Worsfold unavailable again. He does have a siege gun boot as Henry Bird. That's just sailed wide. Thurrock 5, Shelford 0.
Do you know who does the...
This is Gould kick off. It's a good high ball. It's taken by Loker. He's lost it, but it's gone backwards. Ben Timpson has regathered. Ed Stevens with the box kick. And that's... Jack Brosnan is met by the advancing Ahmed Aminu. He puts on enough pressure to draw the knock on. This is the first scrum of the day. Last week it became a little discombobulated. And we hope we get a quick, clean strike today. The Thurrock have got a jumbo-sized pack. They are very, very big. And as soon as the technique is hardened, they will become a massive scrummaging unit. So it's Tom Wildman, Jack Cowman, Frank Wright in the front row. So Shelford apply the pressure, and loosehead Matt Gregerson takes the plaudits. Managed to get an early nudge. And it gives Cracknell the opportunity to push play towards the Thurrock 22. So Cracknell going for the early break. Gould goes to the blind, brings in the fullback, Rogers Brosnan. The Thurrock have managed to repel that attack. Gould tries the left-footed sidestep, comes inside, met with fierce resistance. Good overlapping by Shelford. Out to James Mepham. Come back to the open side. Louis Tang on the left wing has taken a wide stance. Is he looking for the kick? Yes, I thought he might be. Ahmed Aminu comes and puts the tackle in. It's a good tackle from Ahmed. Short pass drop, and Jack Cowman has picked that one up. He's gone to ground. It looks as if Gregson is lying all over the ball. The referee hasn't seen that. Back to Henry Bird. He's in his 22. He's come out to Tang, who's collected this one. He's gone from the middle, and Jay Jennings puts in a good tackle, slows him down. And Thurrock won the ball back. Wildman standing guard, comes wide. Harry Reynolds having another run. He's been in the game quite a lot early on. It's good for left wingers because most people pass with the right hand. That's another good charge. Thurrock looking inside, then outside. Ed Stevens brought back into the fold this week. It's nice passing from him. And Henry Bird looking the outside. He's put Ahmed away. Ahmed looks inside, finds now Clifford taking a great line, great support line. Aminu manages to win the ball back. Alex Jones, Caelan Watts-Adams has to run behind Charlie Russo, but with great power manages to get the ball out to Tanny. Loka has come out wide to Harry Reynolds. Harry Reynolds is sneaking over. What a great debut try on the outside. Instructed test the outside. Showing great pace.
He's having a crack me if I'm not. I'll try and make him feel on the way up. I'll be more right.
Great flowing movement from Thurrock and found Harry Reynolds in space. That young man has great cadence and rhythm in his running, and he was able to get on the outside of the Shelford winger, James Mepham, which is quite unusual because that winger is a very quick guy as well. Nevertheless, it's Thurrock 10, Shelford 0. Again, Watts-Adams to the fore, rampaging run, had to get around his captain first of all, before he got into a bit of open space, then fed the ball. Nice pass from Drittan Loka, and Thurrock were away. So Henry Bird has pulled that one. So it's Thurrock 10, Shelford 0. Welcome to our viewers around the world, to Mercedes in the Cayman Islands, to Paul Stevens in Singapore, to the Welsh contingent, Brian Davis, who was very helpful this week with information about the 1974 Shelford game. He remembers only too well who the scrum half was. Bob Williams in Wales, the Henderson family in Wales, and of course the Stanley family, Trent White and Dylan Fearon in New Zealand. So it's Cracknell to kick off once again. This one's taken by Ben Timpson, who tries to offload, changes his mind. Stevens on the box kick, which comes in field.
Good tackle.
And he told me and I haven't got any money with me, so we can't get some money from his and he's got to tell you he's using toner as well, so you know.
So a rather hurried attack as Shelford tried to get back into this game. It's a wonderful pass. It was almost intercepted by Thurrock. But it's the retreating Alex Jones who managed to pick up the interception. He finds himself in a bit of open space. This time Shelford have been lying over the ball and they are penalised. Great play by Alex Jones, who tackled like a Trojan last week. Played well in adversity. Now having made the interception and won the ball, he has to kick the touch. Jack of all trades, man for all seasons, usually a scrum half, now a fly half. There's some dispute over his nationality. The father claims he's Welsh, but of course Alex himself is a pure Englishman, mother hailing from Swindon. So Jack Cowman, who was kindly converted from prop to hooker during this time of difficulty for Thurrock, is to throw in. It's really good to see Ryan Wilkins back in the fold, looking much bigger, much more powerful nowadays. It's very well taken by Loker, but there was interference on the line out. Dave Hill was all over him. So another penalty to Thurrock. This time Alex Jones goes for a slightly longer kick. And that's up to Shelford 22. Thurrock come to the line out quite slowly. This time it goes Jay Jennings to the front. It's pushed back. That's giving Ben Timms a chance to go outside. As he slips into the tackle though, Shelford managed to win the turnover. Jack Baird, the centre, making the initial hit. Lewis Cracknell, who also takes the place kicks for Shelford. A strong left foot. Miles Hupats, the Shelford hooker, throwing in. Taken by Pete Clark at the back, it's a driving maul, it's broken loose. Cowman is trying to rip the ball. As the knees touch the floor, he's told to release. That's gone backwards. Unfortunately, Jay Jennings couldn't keep his feet. Thurrock drive through. The referee judges that that was legal. Shelford have got the ball. It's come out and it's given Shelford the opportunity to come through the middle. This time Cracknell breaks free. It's a high tackle by Charlie Russo, which has been tapped, and they've gone very quickly. A magnificent tackle by Thurrock, stopping the try there, but can they hold out? It was Alex Jones again, was it? It's now rampaging Jasper Dix, and Shelford have 3 men over, but they've they had a 3-man overlap, but they've actually thrown the ball to the floor. It looks as if Thurrock are going to lose a man temporarily. And it looks as if Harry Reynolds has gone for the interception, and it's a deliberate knock on, and Shelford have got a penalty try. So it's Thurrock 10, Shelford 7. It was very unfortunate. The referee, Pedro Diego of the London Society today. A lot more urgency from Shelford, suddenly realising that Thurrock were playing the better rugby and were leading. So it's unfortunate for Harry Reynolds, who's been having an outstanding game. Alex Jones restarts. Straight away, Shelford trying to exploit the extra man. That's a kick from Lewis Cracknell, though, which has been knocked on by the winger Louis Tang. A good intercession from Ahmed Aminou as well. Thurrock need a quick tight head here. Need to release down channel 1 very quickly. Gregerson with an early engagement and noticed by the referee. Dan Barber up against Tom Wildman. And the referee giving sound advice to both packs. Ben Timpson picks the ball quickly this time. Alex Jones can't hold on to that, he regathers. Shai Russo a bit isolated, but he does manage to make ground. Watts Adams is there, first support. Timpson gives the ball out to Niall Clifford, who's doubling up as full-back and winger on the left-hand side. Thurrock have the ball again. As soon as this pack gains confidence, it'll be some unit to deal with. A bit of a loose pass, and that has gone into touch. As the chief technical operator's children are here to watch today. That's overthrown by Shelford. It didn't look straight, but the referee has allowed play to carry on. So it's Charlie Fitch on the rampage, second row. Another good pass from Charlie Baker. That's burst through the tackle. It's Baird. Slips the ball inside. Thurrock's struggling now to contain this Shelford attack. Gregerson probably much prefer the tight to the loose. It's a longer pass as they try to exploit the wide outside. And this time Brosnan comes inside the full back. He's made the extra man, and it looks as if Louis Tang has managed to score in the corner. So very effectively they've made the extra man tell. This will hurt Thurrock. It's been a bit of a tale of the season. Through all sorts of unfortunate circumstances, they've lost people to yellow cards, and that has led them into difficulty. So it's Thurrock 10, Shelford 12, with Cracknell to attempt the conversion. Of course, with the penalty try, there was no need for him to attempt anything. So left-footed Lewis Cracknell on the wrong side of the field for him to attempt the conversion. And an excellent effort, but it struck the post. That leaves the score at Thurrock 10, Shelford 12. And we've got the scoreboard working at last, and perhaps the cameraman can look at the scoreboard occasionally.
Got the score there.
But we have the score on the screen, of course, so there's no need. Alex Jones. Bit of a flat kick, it bounces into touch. It's fortunate. So 25 minutes gone, and Thurrock have another 5 minutes down to 14, and they've managed to ship 12 points during the time of the yellow card. So Hill wins that one. The maul continues. The ball has bounced out of the maul, so it's lost in contact. The Shelford try to play a rolling maul game. A good crowd today with 3 matches going on. Forwards coach Dave Catchpole working hard this week with the forwards, as ever, alongside former captain Dave Stevens. It's a better scrum from Thurrock. Simpson manages to organise that one. Alex Jones comes round the loop, feeds now Clifford, and it gives Ahmed Aminu a chance on the outside. He's a powerful runner, is Aminu. He's looking to hold the ball. Simpson then close support. Russo going through the hands, manages to burst through the first tackle.
Carry it.
This time it's a short ball to Jack Cowman off Alex Jones. Good carrying. This time Loka goes on the outside, looking outside, but of course there is no winger. The winger's in the bin. Russo coming hard inside. And somehow Shelford managed to win the ball back, and then Thurrock showed a little bit of indiscipline, the breakdown, and that will allow Shelford to clear their lines. Some powerful play by Aminu on the wing. It seems as if he's picked up a bit of an injury. Thurrock have winger Callum Pluck on the bench. And welcome to Mick Leckenby, who is away on holiday somewhere, probably skiing, knowing him. That's again not straight, but the referee isn't seeing the fact that it's gone a little bit awry. Shelford on the attack. This time Henry Burgess manages to hang on to the tackle. He's picked up an injury to his arm. It looks very painful. Alex Jones has to take that pass there backwards. Now Clifton a bit of different in his own 22. Thurrock under enormous pressure now, down to 13. Jones manages to clear his lines, doesn't find touch. Harry Reynolds is back on the field. A small grace. Once again, they've exposed the extra man. Shelford celebrate and Thurrock commiserate. Cracknell adds the extras, so Thurrock 10, Shelford 19. Henry Bird went down awkwardly in the tackle. I'm not sure what the injury is. It looks like an injury to his shoulder, his arm.
They got it. Did they get it?
It's an injury to his hand, I think. It looks as if he's able to continue, which is good news for Thurrock and good news for Henry Bird.
Did they get it conversion?
It's Thurrock 10, Shelford 19. It's a good kick-off by Jones. That's gone over the head of Shelford. Thurrock have regathered. So Thurrock back to 15. It's been a dismal period for them with those losses. Now Clifton into the line in the middle of the park. Kai Holloway sidestepping his way through the middle. Ben Timpson picks up the pieces. Ahmed Aminu, the support. Jack Cowman coming short, runs into his opposite number. Gregerson, good tackle by Gregerson. Tom Wildman. Shelford on the ground there, trying to win possession. Cowman looking for work today. Looks as if he's New Zealand bound. Now Clifford increasing up the work. Breaks to the first tackle. It's good work by Niall Clifford. Jack Cowman, third carry in a row. Really up for it today. Ed Stevens, Jay Jennings. Quick pass on, it's gone back to Henry Bird. He's come through that tackle well. Always looking for work, that man, a very powerful centre. It's a grubber kick through. Harry Reynolds manages to catch the ball, but he's lost it. It's unfortunate. Kick partially charged down. So good work by Thurrock, brought to a halt by an indiscretion. Gives Cracknell a chance to put Thurrock under a bit more pressure as he prods the ball down the field. Not a siege gun kick. Good afternoon to our spectators, our loyal spectators today. The match commentators last time in Shelford gave a summary at the end of the game. So after a very bright start by Thurrock, Shelford have come back into the game, largely due to the loss of a player by a little bit of technical difficulty going for the interception, let's put it that way. And that's allowed Shelford to come back into the game and take the lead. This time it's a penalty to Thurrock. Alex Jones proving his versatility by moving to fly half. Dan Stone not available this week. Tom Worsfold still looking after his father, who had a bit of an accident. And Ben Stanley still on the injury list. We must remember, of course, that Niall Clifford was a fly half, was playing at Ulster Academy. It's well taken by Frank Wright at the back, intended for Caelan Watts-Adams, slight overthrow. Ben Timpson, nice neat little sidestep. Jones, Bird, Holloway, Clifford, Aminu. Another good passing movement. Henry Bird wins the ball back, sends to Charlie Roos in the middle of the field. He picks up, hands off his opposite number. Unfortunately, Thurrock penalised just when they seem to have an opportunity on the right-hand side of the field. Captain Charlie Russo is called over. And his team, I think, given a warning for dissent. Never a good thing to do, to get on the wrong side of the referee, regardless of how frustrated one might be. So Cracknell's seen a lot of the ball. Thurrock penalised apparently for killing the ball, the breakdown. Not appreciated by some of the Thurrock players, hence the penalty. Jay Jennings making a valiant effort to win that one. Like a little bit of obstruction there, give Baker the chance to come inside. He's lost the ball. Thurrock have taken the advantage. They decide to run the ball from their own 22 and give Harry Reynolds another run. This time Thurrock have used the foot in the maul, and Thurrock have shown some dissent again, and they've been moved back 10 yards, or 10 metres I suppose nowadays, well, for about 40 years. This little bit of lack of discipline has cost Thurrock dearly. They also know if they show dissent again, they'll face another yellow card. A very clever, quick line out then, and Shelford were able to get in the corner without anybody laying a hand on the opposition. So line out ploy. Let's put Shelford into bonus point situation, 24 points to 10 at the moment. Cracknell with a conversion, having hit the post with the previous one. So as we move towards half-time, it's Cracknell with a conversion attempt, but it's fallen short on the stroke of half-time. So at half-time, Thurrock 10, Shelford 24. Thurrock started off extremely well, got into the game and managed to attack the Shelford line. An outstanding try by debutant winger Harry Reynolds. Was followed by a charge done by Caelan Watts-Adams to put Thurrock into a 10-0 lead. Henry Bird marginally missing the conversions. Then when Thurrock unfortunately lost a man in an attempt to intercept near their line, Shelford were able to take full advantage of that and subsequently scored 12 points with Thurrock a man down. The third try came with Henry Bird down injured and Thurrock temporarily down to 13. This has been an encouraging start by Thurrock, and some good play by both wingers, Ahmed Aminu. Henry Bird now seems to recover from his injury, and we look forward to an entertaining second half. So Thurrock and Shelford come out for the second half. It looks as if the returning Ryan Wilkins has come on for this half at hooker. So it's Cracknell with a long kickoff, taken by Charlie Russo. Sorry, Ben Timpson, who decides he's not going to pass it. He'll attack instead. And this time Loka, but incredibly Loka kicks the ball, having one possession in the middle of the field. It's the second time in his career he's done that, and neither one has come off.
The goal Glasgow you were. The goal Glasgow you were.
So George Driscoll and Minty, the pitch side assistants today. Jack Baird with a kick. Niall Clifford's managed to take that one. Looking for the hard sidestep, a drive indoors. He really likes contact, this man. Shelford have come over the top of the ball there. Henry Bird moves into scrum half. Alex Jones goes for the kick. Territory. It's taken by James Mepham. Jack Baird, feeds in field. Kai Holloway coming on Cracknell. The second attempt was a good tackle. And this time Thurrock win the turnover. So at 6'5", Tanny Loki decided to kick the ball. Took a long time to get the ball to his foot, and then it lacked accuracy. Why was not this giant of a man crashing into contact? Only he will know. That's a much better kick from Alex Jones, taking play into the Shelford 22. Another good start to the second half. Clifford making vast inroads there with his power, bursting through 3 tackles and retaining possession. So it's Wilkins with his first throw in on his return. A bit slow with that, and subsequently the referee will see there has been some interference. Loka was in the air for quite a long time waiting. Always difficult when you return, knowing the calls. This time Wilkins is about to throw in. And that's very accurate. Gone to the middle. Lost none of his old skills whilst he's been away. Thurrock peel off. Drive close. Loka with the ball. Managed to get the offload. Timpson. The ball is passed behind. Harry Reynolds has the ball. Thrown down like a rag doll. Thurrock regain it. This time Watts Adams goes on the charge in an uncompromising fashion. Russo. Thurrock's certainly up for this game this afternoon and played their part in it. Alex Jones, Henry Bird. Now Cliff's come in the line, he feeds Harry Reynolds. He comes inside, managed to get the offload. Gone backwards. Frank Wright, Tom Wildman. Some ball is trapped with the feet. Loka. This time he runs, manages to push the ball back. Thought he got a free ball with a penalty coming. So Clifford again. This time a little chip forward, and they've gone into the 22 on the kick, but Thurrock come back for the penalty. We have one spectator here with eyes in the back of her head. Poor Jake Bedding, injured before kick-off today, just about to make his return to the fold. So Alex Jones with a chance to kick Thurrock into the corner. Difficult kick from the middle of the field. The ball went to Loker at the front, but he was beaten to it by Dave Hill. Thurrock keenly contesting that. That's another penalty to Thurrock, reversing the statistics somewhat of the first half. Thurrock have a chance to go deeper into the Shelford corner. And this time Jones, though, slightly overcooks it. It's gone dead, and Shelford had the opportunity to relieve their lines with the 22. That was unfortunate after a good start to the half by Thurrock. Difficult bouncing ball. And Harry Reynolds wisely lets that roll to touch. Powerful looking Ryan Wilkins. Restored. Dan Carey also in the second team. This is Jack Cowan who's been taken off. That's a long ball to the back, wonderfully taken by Jay Jennings. That's superb. A nice break by Ben Timms, who rides the tackle well. There's a big tackle on him. Jay Jennings comes short. Another short pass to Kai Holloway in the middle of the field. Powerful young man. Frank Wright, what a charge that is. Best run of the season from the young prop. Thurrock putting more pressure on. Wildman. Ball's going to come across to Ben Timms to make the extra man. Harry Reynolds has another chance there outside, comes inside, feeds Kai Holloway. Kai Holloway goes to ground. Big contest for the ball, but Thurrock retained possession. A miss pass in the middle of the field to Tom Wildman. Does well to hold on to that. Alex Jones throws the dummy. I think he's forced into that by the keenness of the defence. Russo. Great charging run from the captain. Ed Stevens comes blind, he looks for a gap, ducks under, has taken a high tackle, so Thurrock have another bit of free possession. This time Henry Bird chips through to no effect, and I'm sure they'll come back for the penalty. I always wonder why all teams, even international level, kick the ball away when they have a free ball. Why not go through several phases? This time Alex Jones goes for the corner again, and this time the ball is knocked on in the attempt to keep it out. And Harry Reynolds comes close, scoring his second try. The ball had indeed crossed the plane of the line. Difficult angle for the cameraman. Deep in the left touchline is brilliantly taken again. The back, some excellent throwing and catching. It's Ben Timms in the back of the line, and Thurrock have the driving maul going. It's being crabbed sideways at the moment, but they're quite close. And Thurrock turn and try to score. And I think the ref is going to suggest that has been held up. It'd be unfortunate for Thurrock. If only we had a TMO. So Ben Timpson's appealing that he didn't indeed score a try, but the ball is held up over the line, and that leads to the dreaded kickoff from behind the line. It's unfortunate for Thurrock. They desperately need to score after all that pressure. Well taken by Harry Reynolds. Niall Clifford is coming back to the narrow side, steps inside, gets through the first tackle of Dave Hill. Ed Stevens, short ball to Jay Jennings. And Niall Clifford's taken a bit of a knock to the knee. Henry Bird doing what Henry Bird does. She's beat about 3 or 4 tackles. Alex Jones is forced again to throw the dummy because the defence coming forward at the rate of knots. Now Clifford's got a bit of cramp there by the look of it, and Dave Stevens belatedly comes on the field rather slowly to attend to him. But obviously the physio has to come from the other side of the field, so he's going to be marginally slower. She's been on a strict fitness regime of late in order to hasten her attendance at these injuries. But now Clifford looks as if he's got a bit of cramp. He needs to drink more water and take a bit more salt. He should have had really quite a lot of water this morning instead of just a mere cup of tea. And people forget salt is really important to avoid cramp. They need to do the Nordic hamstring exercise before every game and every morning. And we get the details of Niall Clifford's culinary requirements here today. Not enough protein, one would suggest. So Alex Jones with a penalty to push Thurrock nearer to the Shelford line. This time with the slight wind across that side of the pitch, he managed to find a good touch. So Clifford ready to resume. Thurrock go to the driving maul again. They start to move the opposition sideways, using their real weight and power. A lot of encouragement from the crowd. This is going to be close on this occasion. If Shelford have come between. Have they pulled that down illegally? If so, there should be a compensatory yellow card, bearing in mind that Thurrock were penalised and the penalty try was given to Shelford in the first half for the interception post the line. So on this occasion it was not a penalty try. It seems a little inconsistent when driving towards the line and the maul is pulled down. The Thurrock have taken the penalty quickly. Once again they go for the drive. Now they seem to have a lot of forward momentum. People have been taken out of that maul. Shelford have held that one up, and of course they get the scrum put in after the maul. It's been a good riposte from Thurrock, bearing in mind the disruptions at the beginning of the game when Jake Bedding pulled up with a groin injury and Callum Pluck had to be taken from the bench of the second team. Bones has been new wingers Ahmed Aminu and Harry Reynolds have played their part in this game. Charlie Baker, the Shelford captain, to put the ball in. Pete Clark, the number 8, under good pressure then from the Thurrock forwards. They've managed to retain possession and will go for the box kick. Now it's Gregerson who carries. The loose head prop has been quite prominent throughout the game. Baker back to Gould, who with his left foot clears, but it's taken by Niall Clifford, who's recovered from the cramp. He feeds Aminu on the outside. Aminu comes down the wing with real power. Thurrock have the ball there in the middle of the field, a switch inside to Henry Bird. It goes straight through the whole Shelford pack. Russo, sidestepping, powerful run. Alex Jones decides to put the kick in for Reynolds. It's gone across the field. It's bounced in the touch. Thurrock have come out firing this second half, and they've had the majority of the play, certainly the majority of possession. They've had a call for water there, refreshments. I wouldn't have thought it was that hot today. Maybe it was just an opportunity for the Razzie Erasmuses of this world, the coaches, to get on the field and brief their teams. An interesting call as both teams stop for a quick drink, a bit of refreshment. I suppose it gives the pitch side assistants a chance to have a little rest. And we have a new technical assistant in the box today, and that's Jack Driscoll doing an outstanding job, we hope. Depends if the sound comes through to all you people. Please phone me and let me know if it doesn't. The Shelford this time delaying. They struggle with that one. So Jade Jennings picks up the pieces and gives Ed Stevens a chance to put the attack back in motion. Charlie Russo, unforgiving in his relentless attacks. That's Ben Timpson, a missed pass out to Aminu. Comes hard inside. That's an excellent tackle from Louis Tang. What a good contest, those two today. Good hard yards. Ben Timpson found himself in the middle of the field, throws a characteristic dummy. Alex Jones, this time a hard pass. Kai Holloway comes to the line, he throws a dummy. Harry Reynolds is forced inside. Good drift defence from Shelford. Thurrock have spilled the ball just when they seem to have an opportunity. That's given Shelford a chance to counter-attack. Thurrock a bit slow to reform. Henry Bird trying to get across. This tremendous win at the breakdown for Thurrock. There's Timson and Clifford in concert there. Clifford still struggling, but nevertheless, well, a tremendous bit of physicality which won that breakdown. Thurrock's still on the attack. Jones has missed that touch with the ball fading. Harry Reynolds is there in close attention. Good pressure by the young man. Watts Adams hoists Hill to the ground. Charlie Baker puts the box kick in and finds touch. The absence of the spiral kick driving the ball to touch is costing Thurrock dearly today. So it's a full line-out been called. Ryan Wilkins will throw. Goes to the back where Russo climbs to win that one. This is Kai Holloway on the switch. It's a good sidestepping run from him, avoiding tackles, skipping through. Jay Jennings, a little bit isolated. It's very well won. Looks like Charlie Fitch won that one. Thurrock won the ball back game. Wellman. Jay Jennings, outstanding prospect. Long ball to Jones, comes wide. Henry Bird, Clifford in the line again, feeds Aminu. And today, Clifford's had the confidence to feed the wingers. They've done very well. Russo again through an enormous amount of work. Ed Stevens does very well to get that one away, and Aminu has another chance. This time he bursts inside. This game is far from over. So put on lots of pressure in midfield. Simpson finds himself an outside channel. Thurrock wrap around. This time's a missed move to Harry Reynolds. Beats the first man yet again. He's very close to the line. An excellent run from the winger. Koya Wasaka's on. Henry Bird going for glory. Thurrock attempt to go blind. Ball is with Frank Wright. He feeds it back. Dritan Loka punching his way forward. Shelford told to release. Caelan Watts Adams. Nice sidestep from him. Throws a long ball out to Clifford though. He has a chance. And that's going to be a wonderful try. Much to the delight of the home crowd, Niall Clifford, even with the cramp, bursts through and scores a magnificent try. Thurrock 15, Shelford 24, with the conversion to follow. He looks completely exhausted now. The returning cramp didn't stop him sidestepping his way through. Man showed real powers, had an outstanding game today. Post centre, Henry Bird lining up the conversion. Clifford gets to his feet once again. He's left a trail of defenders behind. Important conversion for Henry Bird to bring the score within 7. This time he makes no mistake. Great try for Niall Clifford. Thurrock 17, Shelford 24. It looks very much as if that is the end of the game for Niall Clifford. Callum Pluck has come onto the field. Shelford have managed to claim that one. I think it was a knock on. That's a poor pass, and the referee's gone back to an advantage where Thurrock knocked on. It was quite a long advantage. So after that outstanding effort from Niall Clifford, he's been forced to leave the field, and that's brought Callum Pluck from the obscurity of the second team game onto the field as full-back. One has to remember he's normally a winger. Charlie Baker to put the ball in. The first time I think this half that Shelford have had an opportunity. It's a better scrum from them. It's an early engagement. Thurrock have the free kick. Henry Bird, Kai Holloway. Mepham's come in to make the tackle, but Holloway has won that ball. Frank Wright, an irresistible force when he's on the hoof. Richan Loka dives like a goalkeeper, like Petr Cech. It's a good pass from Henry Bird. Harry Reynolds manages to get to ground. Alex Jones. Jack Baird. Thrown to ground. Dan Barber, the hooker, the blue head cap. Wrestled to the floor. Louis Tang, well tackled by Ahmed Aminu. Another great tackle by him. But Shelford managing to get offload after offload in. Charlie Baker, the captain, beautiful inside switch. And Aminu again making 3 tackles in a row. Just manages to tap tackle the inside pass. Baird throws the dummy, looking for somebody to pass to. There was nobody there. Baker, after that break, feeds a simple ball. James Gould throws a bouncing ball out to number 8, Pete Clark. He's tackled by Henry Bird on his bad shoulder. There's another stinger for him. The 2 of them are down. Tackler and the tackled.
Let's go, Ferg! Let's go!
Double indemnity. Tackler and tackled. Coley Awasika is coming on for Tom Wildman. Good performance by Tom Wildman today. Mona held his own. Has gone looking for the carries. This has been a very close contest, with Shelford having taken advantage when Thurrock reduced to 14 men in the first half. That's been the only difference between the teams. In many ways, Thurrock have been on top for much of this game, certainly territorially, have not quite been able to capitalise on the opportunities they've had by a couple of missed touches. This is certainly encouraging, and hopefully Henry Bird will be able to get to his feet and resume. So, a massive tackle on number 8, Pete Clark, which left him with, I think, a dead leg, and it looks as if he's going from the field. And Henry Bird, something of a stinger, and having the perennial aerosol attached. I apologise, we lost sound for a little while at that stage. Not quite sure what the reason was. We're now able to resume. So with Shelford on the attack, they have retained the put-in. Charlie Baker, the scrum half, wearing the warm tights today, as many players elect to do in the heart of winter. So the seemingly indestructible Henry Bird back to his feet. Charlie Baker goes blind, feeds full back. Jack Brosnan, who's come into the line. Jack Baird runs into the giant Tani Loka. Dan Barber. This is looking more threatening from Shelford. There's a missed pass on the outside. Kai Holloway's come outside to take his man. Hamid Aminu. It must be a very high tackle count for Aminu today. Former flanker. Barber looking for more work. Runs in close. Goes beyond Russo. And this time there is a knock on by Thurrock as they attempt interception. So the referee has been alerted to that. He's given the penalty. Shelford have a free ball. They elect not to kick the ball away. Except now Gould does. He's charged down. And the referee will go back to the earlier penalty, with Thurrock looking as if they were about to break away.
Come on, Shelford, put it in bed.
This time there's not a yellow card for the offence.
Are you listening to that? Are you listening to that? Are you listening to that?
That's fine.
And Thurrock have moved Ryan Wilkins to the back row, where he's quite accomplished. And Jack Cowman has come back onto the field for this scrum. Shelford have wheeled this considerably to the left. It's been allowed to carry on. The tackle is broken down close to Thurrock line. And Thurrock have won the ball, it's charged down. Thurrock have been awarded the dropout from behind their own line. Alex Jones kicks us down the field. Trapped by the captain, scrum half. He sidesteps, comes back inside with a flourish. Louis Tang. He's been tackled a touch. Touch judge is injured prop. Anthony Catchpole. Hopefully he will be back in contention soon. Loka. Back to the tried and trusted. They're making some progress with rolling maul, have now managed to get to ground, so they've kept possession. Ben Timpson bursting through the middle. This man gets through some work. Ed Stevens feeds Jay Jennings, another man with an appetite today. Alex Jones has to kick the ball. It's come to Tang, who is waiting there. He runs across the field, met by a barrage of resistance. Thurrock fighting to try and regain possession. Good work on the outside. Back row in concert, Jasper Dix, Harry Rogerson, Pete Clark. Short ball. Unfortunately, Thurrock, in the attempt to put some tackles in, managed to knock the ball on. Ben Timpson in the heart of the action there, with his fellow former William Edwards back rower Charlie Russo. Brother Freddie Russo played on the wing last week. Away at Amersham and Chiltern, wasn't able to return this week, unfortunately. So after an impressive start to the second half, in which Thurrock managed to reduce the arrears, Shelford have come back into it. Shelford flying high, second place in the table. If it had not been due to an unfortunate loss at Brentwood, they probably would have been in contention for first spot. Brentwood, of course, defeated by Thurrock in the local derby earlier in the season. So Baker picks up, throws the ball out wide, it's a loop around by Gould. Ty Holloway, it's an inside ball, Henry Bird, Ben Timpson. After knock on, Charlie Russo picks up the pieces. Loka's ready to run. free ball for Thurrock, so it gives Aminu a chance. This time he takes the outside channel, makes good progress down the right. Thurrock's still on a free ball here. Be wise to keep moving it. Russo put under huge pressure by Louis Cracknell. So Thurrock go for another penalty. Been a sterling effort by the Thurrock 8 today. In fact, by the whole 15. So Jones pushes the ball into the Shelford half.
Come on, boys!
About 40 metres from the line. So slightly overthrown by Thurrock. The ball has been knocked on. It gives Thurrock the dubious advantage of a scrum.
Come on there, Shelford!
Henry Bird has managed to come back onto the field, allowing Ben Timpson, who performed very solidly in the centre, to move back to the scrum, and Ryan Wilkins to move back to hooking.
Come on, Thurrock! Come on, you! Go, Thurrock!
Callum Pluck looking keen to get into the action. Bit of a messy scrum, the ball shot out the back.
Strong now, Shelford, come on! Strong, tight head.
Jacksie, nothing like the money.
Jay Jennings, who's played a great game today, leading the field, giving Tom Wildman a chance to come back on second row. This looks like a tactical swap for Thurrock.
So we tell them, we are Thurrock, mighty, mighty Thurrock.
Ben Timpson picks up under a huge amount of pressure, manages to feed the ball back. Somehow it looks as if Thurrock had kept possession, but then the ref has decided to penalise Thurrock for something I'm not sure about. A mystery penalty.
Come on, Thurrock!
It's be unfortunate. Whenever Thurrock have attempted to get into the ascendancy, they've been repelled by giving away a penalty and the opposition kicking the ball deep into their half. Collier was Seeker, managing to get good possession. Aminu bursting through some tackles. He's had a great game today, Ahmed Aminu. So there'd been a knock-on from that line-out.
That low power is during at the same speed that I was running in first. It's mental.
Come on, Shelford!
So Thurrock scrum going back to a rate of knots, and Shelford taking full advantage, managing to burst through. And regain the initiative. Tragic for Thurrock. They've certainly played their part in making this a highly entertaining game. Just when Thurrock were getting on top, unfortunately Niall Clifford, the scorer of that outstanding try, had to leave the field. And Thurrock have lost their composure since then. So Thurrock 17, Shelford 29, and that is the final whistle. A terrific effort by Thurrock, who, because that last try take nothing away from the game. They certainly deserve more than that. This was a moment of redemption, I feel, for Thurrock. A team put together with a few difficulties, even having Jake Bedding injured during the warm-up, managed to turn on a quite outstanding performance today. We're in the game for long periods and deserve much better than this pointless win for Shelford. So it's good afternoon from Thurrock Oakfield, where Shelford have prevailed by 29.17 in a very close encounter, far closer than their current position on the table will allow you to believe. Good afternoon.